How about now, guys? Yes, no, maybe. This stuff is driving me crazy. I don't know what I have to do next. Is it better? All right, you got it. Now, if I can remember what I just did. Hold on, let me see what I just did. All right, we're good to go. Good. Uh, Cold coffee. That's okay. It's all fun. Sorry about that. Enough for loosening up. Now, here's what I wanted to do today. And I didn't do it today because I had problems like this afternoon. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to loosen up because I'm not going to be, doing 900 miles an hour. I'm just going to just demonstrate some polyrhythms. Now, polyrhythms, are insane. You use them sometimes. You use a polyrhythm all the time. You don't know it. What I did is I simplified. Where is this? Hold on. Oh. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get a blank screen for about 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So bear with that, all right, guys? This is what I wanted to talk about. You're going to get another one coming up. Hold on a second. There you go. That's the one. Can we all see that? Gentlemen, can we see that? Ugh. Well, there's a formula. Right. There's a formula how you do how you break down polyrhythms. Like, let's go to the 3 against 2, the one on the left hand side, the bottom, and I'll give you the mathematical fraction that I use, and it works for me, and it comes out. I simply multiply 3 times 2, and I get 6 counts, and I have to divide the 6 counts. What I want to do is play 3 with one hand and 2 with the other hand. So how do I do that equally within the downbeat? Now, I don't want to get into any kind of scientific thing about 2 points and inside there is an indefinite thing and the bong and all that stuff. I'm just going to show 3 against 2. All right, and the way you figure that out is six counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or, well, let's stay with that for now. What it's doing is I'm going to be able to play 3 strokes with one hand constantly by counting. You see the slashes on the top. You have a slash under 1, under 3, and under 5. So what I'm doing with the left hand is I'm going to play that 3 with the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that gives me the 3. Can you hear my? Hey Ron, how you doing, man? Can you hear my bass drum on the downbeat of 1? I have this pad thing. I don't know if that's working. I can't use the drums. If you want to use the drums for, you got to go to my channel. It's on my website, and that is not a free thing. It's like $15 a month. Okay. Anyway, so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 3 strokes inside of that count equally. Now you're going to hear my downbeat on the count of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Can you hear the downbeat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that gives me the 3. How do I get the 2? So on 6 counts, I had to go every other one to get an equal 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm going to get the 2. So I went every 2 beats. Now I'm going to go every 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I play them together. I'm going to play the 3 on top on the drum pad, and I'm going to play the 2 on the rim of the drum pad. So you're going to get, I don't want to do that. I just want 1, 2, 3. I should show you how to do it. It's not about showing off or whatever you want to call that. It's about understanding what I'm doing. Now, let's just quick. Well, wait, we haven't even started there. Who is it, Brian? All right. It's not a brilliant thing. It's nothing that I came up with. It's a mathematical division. Okay? Now, what's this? Yeah, I'll tell you. All right, what happens now, if you're playing 3, 1, 2, 3, that's an 8th note triplet to the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the. So, I gotta tell my students, the way I count a triplet is 2 different ways. There's many different ways to count them, but these are the 2 that work for me. You could count 1 triplet, 2 triplet, or 1 latilla, or 1 tati, or whatever it is that you count. And I'm going to count the triplet as 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Now, to break it down, so I have control inside of a 3 against 2 pattern, I break it down numerically. All right, I open up the space because I'm going to have, who's that in here? I'm going to have the space to obtain the 2 strokes. So what I'm doing is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now I'm going to put that's the 8th note triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and the. So that gives me my triplet. So if I wrote this out musically, and with the programs that I have, I would have to go to 3/8 to do this, and it would be very confusing. But what you're doing is playing an 8th note triplet between the downbeats and 2 8th notes between the downbeats. So if I take the stick control book, for example, and I took the first 1 and, that would be 1 and. That's 2 8th notes. That's 2 8th notes to the downbeat. Now, I can play a triplet against that with the bass drum while I do this, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to keep my bass drum 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, what I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is this. I do the stick control book, I try to do it every day. If I'm not doing it for myself, when I'm teaching, I'm actually doing some of it, because I have so much other things that I want to obtain, and especially with this computer stuff. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to take the stick control book, like if you practice full strokes, that's 8 notes. And what I want to do, instead of just playing 8th notes, I'm going to play my bass drum, doing triplets. So I'm accomplishing a few different things here. I'm developing my foot. I'm playing against that. That's polyrhythmic. And I'm practicing full strokes with my hands. Okay? And it takes a lot of focus. Now, the way you should practice this is before you hit up a metronome, get the feel of line 1. Understand what you're doing. I'm playing 3 with the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, what I just did was the first line of stick control book with a triplet bass drum. Now, it puts a little bit of spice on practicing. If I did the full stroke just by itself every day, which is cool. You should do it. It's helping you. But now this time I'm putting. Now, once you get the feel of it, I highly recommend using a metronome. Now, a metronome, the way you could use this, if the normal way is you have the bass drum, the metronome as the quarter note pulse. This time, what we're going to do is we're going to use the metronome as an eighth note triplet pulse. That's a little too fast. Let me bring it down. For example, let me go to 120. That's pretty cool. It's pretty easy right there. Each tick or click is going to be a count. So I have 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Let me. Everybody see that the 3 against 2? I'm gonna change the. I guess the channel you can call it. Let me see. Hold on. Go back to just watching. There you go. It'll come on in a second. So we're just going to do the 3 against 2. What I'm doing now, come on, here you go. The delay gets me crazy. I'm playing the triplet at 120. That's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. Now I'm going to play the stick control book down. Now, I'm not going to show you my whole routine there because you got to do it, not me. But it puts a little bit of spice on doing full strokes, no? Okay. So, now, there's 5 guys in here, and only 1, 2, 3 guys. Who's the other 2? We're being spied on. Okay, anyway. That's one way I like to do that. And it makes it interesting. If you keep doing that, you take the metronome up a little bit, and you put the timer on, just say hang out with one line. 1, 2, 3, 1. Try to do that for 3 minutes. It's not fast, but it's long. So on and so forth. Now, it's not very musical as this is from Sting or Yes or what's their name? Yeah, man, these names kill me. What's the group with Neil Peart in it? I forget. Anyway, that's a way of doing 3 against 2 one way, but there's other different ways. So many different ways. And I like to do this right now as an exercise. I mean, I could do this with the right hand and get a 2 with the left. Okay? Now, or play 1, 2. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to play the triplet up here. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to play the stick control book. Now, what gets confusing about this, more than it's hard to do, is remembering what you started out with. For example, I'm going to use all the rights as the right hand, all the lefts as the bass drum. So if I did line 1 like that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm doing stick control book with a substitution. Now I'm playing eighth notes on that side of my body. Now what you want to do is play triplets. Now this is difficult. All right, now I don't want to play too fast. I mean, it's difficult. If I did, you might hear it in line 3. Line 3 is 2 rights, which is the 2 bass drums, and 2 lefts, which is going to be up here. So if I did a line 3 with that concept, this is what you would get. 1 and 2 and, I'm sorry, I reversed it. See, 1 and 2. All lefts are the bass drum. Now play it against the 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Guys get it? Any questions on that? It's just a challenge. That's all it is. And it really helps in other areas because they're all related. I've been having some good conversations about these kind of things like linear and harmonic, and I really don't want to get into that unless we get a visitor. He said he was going to show up this evening. Alan Herman, if he's here, he should step forward and jump in because I'm trying to help understand the polyrhythms. Now, you have any questions on how I did the polyrhythms, what uses? I will give some PDF sheets out for tonight, if you'd like them. Ron, could you write my email, please? It's www.mattpatella1001@gmail.com. Now, if anybody wants to get on the mailing list or they want the PDFs for tonight, I will mail them to you. And being on the mailing list, you're going to get to know what's going on with special guests because I do have a whole lot of special guests coming up, lined up, which is coming to a schedule. The next one is next Sunday. That's going to be Ted McKenzie. Do you know who Ted McKenzie is? Yeah, let me put it in. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? This drives me crazy. You can hear me. All right, so this is my email. Can you see my email address, Ron? Now, okay. Now, you know who Mr. McKenzie is, no? He's the gentleman who rewrote, or revised rather, the Buddy Rich book. And he has an additional book called Rudiments Around the Drum Set by Buddy Rich, supposedly. That's Ted McKenzie. He will be online with me in the drum discussion. Now, like I said, I have, yeah, he does have great hands. I seem to attract him, so my hands have to get better. I learned a lot from all these guys. Okay, but anyway, after that, I have, I'm waiting for him to go to LA. It's Rick Lathan, you know who that is, and Jim Riley. And if I tell you who else, I'm not gonna say until I get a commitment. But those two are in the boiler right now, or in the frying pan. Okay. Now, if you want this PDFs, email me. I'll send them to you. All right. Now that takes care of, I think, the 3 against 2, just for a while. There's other variations I have. Do we have any questions on the 3 against 2, gentlemen? Yes, no. Any questions on that? I'm going to go get another cup of coffee in between the delay here. Hold on. No questions? Let's see what we got. Okay. Anyway, before I go into the next part, does everybody here have Joe Morello's Master Studies and Accents and Rebounds? If you do, you want to keep them by if you're going to come back again. Who's that now? Let's see. Brian, I Bang Things. Who's that? Baka Cheeks. And yeah, all right, there you go, Brian. Okay. Okay, you have no to both. All right, well, you know, I have some issues that coming down on me about copywriting. But anyway, you should get yourself the Joe Morello book, at least. And you know, we're going to be working out of that book, and eventually, you know, from that book, we're going to go into Accents and Rebounds. Now, the reason why I mentioned Joe Morello's book, have you ever played a grouping of 5 there, Brian? To the downbeat? I'm playing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. The reason why I'm saying that is because a couple of the lessons coming up, we're going to use that. You have. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to think in 5. We're going to think like, I'm going to do it slow. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bass drums on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, one of the exercises you should do is try to make the 5s doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1, 4, 5, 1. That's a grouping of 10. Now I've come up with a couple exercises, and they're in the back of the Accents and Rebounds. So get familiar with it, even if you just slow it down. You don't have to be, you know, Buddy Rich or anybody like that. Just hang out and give me this. You know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And make sure that foot 3 and 4 and 1. So I'm playing it as doubles. Now I'm just going to give you one exercise with that. A grouping of 4. Well, actually a grouping of 5, and then a grouping of 10, but doubles. So if I play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And take it on the reverse side. I'll write that out for you. What's that? Yeah, it does, but I'm trying to take it to a part where it's thick in Accents and Rebounds, the short roll combinations. The mixed rolls is what I want to do. Okay? And yeah, definitely, man. That's where he sets you up to go into Accents and Rebounds. Anyway, like I said, email me. I'll send you some exercises. Now, the next thing I want to do, and I want to change the screen now, is I want to do 3 against 4. And let me see if I can pull it up. Nope, that's not it. I don't think. Yeah, it is. I think. Be patient, gentlemen. There you go. 3 against 4. We did 3 against 2. Now, 3 against 4, you have a couple of variations. The one I like to work with is the middle one there. 3 against 4, variation number 1. Now, the same thing applies when I'm playing. Come on, there you go. A triplet. I'm counting now. Instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and I'm going to count 1E and 2E and 3E and the 1, 2, 3, 4 is part of the triplet. 1E and 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E and 3E and that's how I get my 3. Now look at the bottom of the 3 against 4. It's 1E and 2E and 3E and I'm going to hit the rim for the 4, the part 4, for the fours. So I have, hold on, 1E and 2E and 3E and the 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 3E and now that doesn't sound like anything, but it's actually this: 1, 2, 1E and 2. I can't get in there. That's hard. But you're doing fours. Okay, so now I'm going to do 3 with the left hand. 1, 2, 3. I'm counting. 1E and 2E and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. That's in my left hand. Now, I'm going to put the screen back to where I should. Oh. It's hot in here, man. So I'm playing the 3 with my left hand. 1E and 2, 3. And playing the 4 with my right on the ring. Now this you should really practice with a metronome. That's a little too fast for this. Again, we're going to make the metronome to count. 1E and 2E and 3. 1E and 2, 3. Okay, do we understand that? You want to break it down a little bit better or slower? Talk to me, gentlemen. Ron, you have this going on? Brian, you have this going on? You got it, right? Okay, now, that's 3 against 4. That's one variation. And you know me, I always stick in the, in the stick control book. Well, that's cool because I think everything does come from those 3 pages. But let's go. If you have a syncopation book, you gotta use the. Let me stay on this for a minute, Brian. That's why I use the metronome. Well, it works. I'm giving 1, 1E and 2E and 3. 1. I can go like this. 1E and the. I'm making that the triplet. 1, 2, 3. 1E and 2E and 3. Now, I'm not going to go down. You could actually do this with stick control book. One more thing with stick control book. You can play the triplet on the floor. 1, 2, 3. And run down. Instead of using the stick control book as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to consolidate the line. 1E, we're going to think of it in 2-2 time. And actually cut time the way it's written. 1E and 2E and E and 4E and so each 4 notes is a grouping of 1 and 2 and should be 1E and it's 4 notes. Okay? What's this? Well, I don't know. I've gone through that book. I don't know any breakdowns as far as polyrhythms is concerned. There's a lot of great books out there. What I have, it's all a mathematical system. And it's a scientific system, really. How the relationship of the different rhythms are actually one. What is this? Well, I have about 1,000 different ways to do this, Brian. And I'm going to give you one more. Then we're going to hop into the syncopation book. And this is similar to what we did with the 3 against 2. If you remember, we did the 3 on the bottom. We did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to still do the 3 on the bottom. And now we're going to play the syncopation. I mean, the stick control book as 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E. So that's going to be 4 against the 3. So the first right, left combination is a grouping of 4. And I'm going to put the metronome on and make sure you're right. That makes me right. And it's very hard to count these without a metronome. I mean, you can count them without a metronome, but this is reassuring you that it's right. So 1 E and the 2, 3, 1. Now we'll do line 1, 2, 3. Excuse me. 1 E and the 2, 3. Line 3. 2 rights, 2 lefts. I'll play the rights here. 1 E and the 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A little behind on the metronome there. That's a toughie, but it's definitely worth the time to put in there, and you have a great time. Now, I have, in this series of polyrhythms, again, into the stick control book, I have like about another 50, 60 different ways. But this is like almost like a prerequisite to get there. And the groupings of 5 as double strokes. Play them as double strokes. Now, as Ron knows, and who's ever dealt with me before, they know I live in the stick control book, and my whole basic teaching element is from the stick control book, because I have a total respect for the brilliance of George Lawrence Stone. All right, now we're going to do. That doesn't mean we're not going to do other books. Where's my syncopation book? Is over there. Excuse me, gentlemen. Now, I'm going to, all right, first off, let me just talk a little bit. Then I'm going to change the screen. Does everybody have the syncopation book with them? Don't tell me you're in your car driving. Yes, Y for yes, N for no. All right. This is the second edition. This one was done by Alfred again. Well, Alfred, really, the first time. Well, you should. Oh, we're going to open it up. Okay. And that's after Ted Reed passed on. I guess someone sold the rights to Alfred, and they put this guy out. Right? They might have changed. They didn't change anything in the writing, but they changed the order of the page numbers. Then they came out with another one. The syncopation was a green cover, came with a disc, same notation, but because it wasn't selling the way they were doing a marketing promotional thing. They put pictures of Neil Peart, Steve Gadd, Vinnie Colaiuta, Dave Weckl, so on and so forth. And they gave a little explanation of, yeah, this is the greatest book in the world, but didn't get a bong and all marketing principles. So whether they say it, that it's the greatest book in the world, it's a book that's essential in your library. This book, you can make cook. I mean, swing, man. This is a great book. This is a very practical book for musical figures that you play with your band, whether you realize it or not. And for this particular thing that we're going to do tonight, you probably never have done syncopation book this way. So what you're going to do here is we're going to start off very simple. If you don't have the syncopation book, you can always get a book that let's go someplace here where we all can hang out. All right, let's go. You're gonna like this last part of the lesson, but I just have to give you a prerequisite to this. We're gonna go to page 20. Now, a simple page. So everybody hop on it. When you get on it, just give me your Y. Y for yes. All right. Well, maybe not this page. Let's go to another page. Let's make a. Let's go to page 23, 20 bar exercise. Sorry about that. Page 23, 20 bar exercise. You did it wrong. All right, everybody's got it. Man, this old lady shit stinks, man. All right. Now, obviously, this is like a prerequisite to the next thing that we're going to do. But sure, you need to understand how to read this on one surface. So I'm going to do the first line on the 20 bar exercise. No speak freak or nothing. Just like 1, 2, very simple. 3, 4. 1 E and the 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 E and the 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 E and the. Now, I'm not going to play this in 2/2, cut time or whatever. It's in 4. All right, there's other ways to play this. But before we can take it to another step, you need to understand how to read it on one surface. So now, if you look at the 20 bar exercise, you see the first one ienda is a grouping of 4. Okay? So I'm going to play triplets with my left hand. And I'm going to play the line, or that measure, for example, with my right hand. So I'm going to play 4, 1 ienda, then 2 and 3 and 4 and against the triplet. Okay, you understand that, what I'm doing so far? So now I'm going to hit the syncopation book, 1 ienda, 2, 3. Let me get the tempo. You don't mind if I play it faster? You understand it, or you want me to slow it down? 1 ienda, 2 ienda, 3. 1 ienda, 2. Here we go. 1. Now, I have no problem with playing things slow. As a matter of fact, I subscribe to it. The slower you play something, the more control you obtain or you need. And you reinforce what's natural. So we understand what I just did. If I put the metronome on 120, I'm going to play the line now. Against 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 ienda, 2, 3. Second measure. So on and so forth. Now, I would hang out with something like that for a while, just to get the feel. All you're doing is taking, again, the stick control, the syncopation book to another level or another dimension. But this is sort of a prerequisite for the next thing that I have in mind. And you don't want to do too much of this. You just want to let yourself absorb all of this. 3 against 4, 3 against 2. We're going to start doing 3 against 5 and 5 against 4. But we're not going there tonight. That's another lesson. What I want to do, you want everybody understand what I just did with that first line on that page? Y is for yes, and 4 is help. You understand it, Ron? Brian? Okay, Ron. Ron and Brian, you understand it? Just put yes, Y1, Y1. So I know that I'm taught. All right, one more time. Okay, no problem. All right. Okay. Well, that's all you have to say. I just get it so hot in this room. Ron knows how hot it gets in this room. Okay, now, not really, you didn't understand what I did. I played the line. I'm going to do the first measure, page 23, the 20 bar exercise, which is 1E and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay? We understand that. 1E and is a grouping of 4 to the downbeat. And now I go 2 and is a grouping of 2 to the downbeat. 3 and is another grouping of 2. 4 and. So if I played that measure, 1E and 2 and. Let me count a little different. 1, 2, and. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I'm playing the 8. Stop me when you're not sure. Okay, let's do the first 1E and Is that okay, guys? 1E and That's the grouping of 4 against the 3. Okay, so I go 1. Okay, I'm going to play the 3. 1E and 2E and 3. Now the 4. 1E and 2E and 3E and So that's the 4 with the right, 3 with the left. Help me out a little bit so I don't have to repeat myself, gentlemen. You understand where I'm getting the 3 against 4? The 3 is just going to be constant. All right, and I'm playing the line with my right hand. You got it? If you don't have it, it's not a problem. We'll just do it again. So if I did the first measure, see, I like to work with the metronome because you can go just a little bit off. It just sounds terrible. This keeps you on money. 1, 2, 3, 1. So I got this going on. 1, 2, 3, 1. That's the triplet. Now I'm just going to play the first 1 and All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I play the 16ths. Here you go, 4. All I did was play 1 and with the right hand and completed the line. It's not a 12 count. Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. Inside of the triplet, it is. It's 1, E, and is 4 counts. 2, E, and is 8 counts. 3, E, and is 4 counts. Let me get this on the screen. Hold on. Let me see which one it is. I don't know. You're going to lose me for a minute. That's not it. Sorry. There you go. We all have to start slow. Now, look at the 3 against 4. Now, Brian, you said it's the 12 count. If you look at 3 against 4, you see 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and that's 12 counts. Perfect. You understand that? Now, inside of the 12 counts, I'm playing the triplet. If the triplet's going to fall on the downbeats, 1, 2, 3. But inside of the distance between the 1, 2, 3, I'm counting 1 E and then 2 E and 3 E and naturally in tempo. So if I do the 3 against 4, and if I'm doing the 4, what I have, I'm going to play the 4 over here. You're going to hear it on the rim. 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and now I started all slow. I mean, I'll do it slower if you like, and it's harder actually to do it slower. Let's take a slower tempo. Let's take 80. All right, that should be slow enough. That's the triplets. That's 1, 2, 3. Is that slow enough for you, Brian? I guess make it slower. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3. Let's make it slower. Let's go down to 60. See, what you have with the 3 against 4, you actually have a grouping of 12 you're thinking of. You're playing 4 and 3. That's kind of abstract to get into right now. This is my triplet. Now I'm going to count. 1, 2, you got to focus. 1, 2, 3. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 1E and the 2. 3, you understand? 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 1E and the 2. 3. So now I'm going to play again. 3 with my left hand. Come on, move. Let's go. What's wrong with this thing? There you go. I'm going to play 3 with my left hand and 4 with my right hand. That's the triplet, the tick. So I have 1E and the 2E. Give it an accent on the first one. 1E and the 2, 3. Down, tap. It levels. 1E and the 2E and the 3. 1E and the 2E and the 3. 1E and the 2. You need the right hand. You see what happens with that metronome? You got to be, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, and that's good. It's not good that I made a mistake, but it's good that I know I made a mistake, so I'm going to correct it. I have to intensely focus. 1E and the 2E and the 3. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 1. 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the. You do that for 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes, but 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. You got a hell of a concentration focus thing going on. Well, no, it's not. It's a division, Brian. Brian, do you have Skype? If you have Skype, I'll talk to you on Skype about this. Because it's hard to do this when, you're typing. Well, if you have Skype, I can help you out a little bit more. See, well, that's my excuse to get out of here because I am really hot and I'm very tired. But if you want to come back next Tuesday, we're going to continue the lesson. We'll do a little bit of a review at the 12 o'clock and at the 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock rather. All right, fine. Just make contact with me and we'll talk. Hey, Ron, you have any questions on anything? Don't forget the groupies of 5, Ron. You're doubling the 5s. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. You're doubling them, okay? All right, so now you got the 5s. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like you're doing a triple roll. My pleasure, guys. Remember, if you want the PDFs, just give me a holler. You have my email, it's still there. I am going to close it down. Okay? It's almost, 9 o'clock? All right. I'm sorry, but I should make it a little, I just need to get some, I need to get a cigarette. There's still 6 people watching and only 2 participating. Is there anybody else in here? Okay. Ron, yeah. Brian, Ron, have a good night. I'm going to shut this off. There's a little delay in it. like about 5 seconds. It drives me crazy.